Hi, Diamonds. Welcome to the channel. Good evening, good morning, whatever time you are going to be watching this video. So, some housekeeping rules as you come into this live stream. Please like the video if you are not yet subscribed, and let us know where you are watching this video from. Okay? So, on to the topic of today. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, welcome. As you just feel welcomed, okay? The toxic politics that made RCCG suspend the Iluyomade days. That has been on the trend table in the past 48 hours. Now, if you do not know who the Iluyomades are, let me just give you like a background fresher. They are the pastors of RCCG City of David Church on the island in Lagos. Why are they special? Why are they in the news? Why is their suspension slash transfer important? Why are people talking about it? I will explain it for you in case you don't know anything about them. So the first place we are going to go to is City of David's website, okay, so that you understand who they are if you've never heard about them before, because you may just have seen that everybody's talking about City of David, Iluyomade and his wife. What exactly? Why are they not just pastors? Um, so yeah, let's go to City of David's website, RCCG. Hello, thank you so much. Welcome, RCCG City of David, their website. So let us look at about their pastors. Pastor Idowu Iluyomade. Um, excuse me. So let's go to about us. This video is going to be long, so I need you guys to ensure that you are comfortable, okay? So according to their website, they say RCCG City of David is a place where people can meet Jesus, engage in life-giving community. We are the space where people can have authentic encounters with Christ, discover their gifts, and use them for God's glory. You are very welcome. But much more than that, you are indeed wanted and encouraged to stay and belong. Join us any of our Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday services. Hello. So meet our lead pastors, Pastor Idowu Iluyomade, pastor in charge of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Region 20, and the head of Apapa family. He is also the special assistant to the RCCG General Overseer on Christian social responsibility. He is a lawyer and a philanthropist. Pastor Siju Iluyomade, wife of Pastor Idowu Iluyomade and the founder slash convener of Arise Women. She is a profound and perceptive woman, a lawyer and philanthropist. So that gives us like a bird's eye view on who these pastors are. First of all, we know that they are the lead pastors at RCCG City of David, and Pastor Idowu is the pastor in charge of RCCG Region 20 and the head of the Apapa family. Then he is the special assistant to the RCCG General Overseer on Christian social responsibility. Where did the talk about this family begin? So sometime earlier this year in February, I believe, Pastor Siju, that is Pastor Idi's wife, celebrated her 60th birthday. But it caused a lot of uproar because one of the prominent members of their church, in the person of late Herbert Wigwe, the erstwhile CEO of the late CEO at Access Bank, was one of the top members of the church, according to the rumor mills, okay, according to what people were saying. Now, Mr. Herbert died in a tragic accident. May God rest his soul, where he lost his wife, his son, and another top technocrat in Nigeria. It was a helicopter crash. So it was a tragic, unfortunate scenario that happened. Now, after the in while the mourning was going on, while people were mourning that, Pastor Siju had an elaborate party for her 60th birthday that a lot of people, it didn't go down well with a lot of people. They felt like it was insultive, they felt like they had no empathy, particularly because this was someone who was very prominent and was like a brother to them. Some people even claimed that the um towers, there's a tower, we're going to get into all of that very soon, the Trinity Tower, Herbert was instrumental in giving out the loans to this church. So that was where people started talking. People had already over the years had issues with Pastor Siju and her dressing. I believe I've done a video on this channel. Guys, where they feel like her dressing is not in tandem or does not reflect the conservative nature of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. So some people have always had that issue with Pastor Siju. So this party that happened during the tragic death of Herbert was what broke the camel back. So people started calling for the resignation. Apart from the fact that that party was taking place when Herbert died, um, during the party, the Iluyomades invited Flavor, who, according to some people in the Redeem fold, is not supposed to be, or they are not supposed to invite a secular artist to their birthday. So some people had that issue. So at the time, please like this live stream, guys. At the time all this was going on, there were rumors that there was some sort of tussle between the leadership of RCCG and the Iluyomades who lead the RCCG City of David. Now, we don't know what the structure of the RCCG church is. Okay, we really don't know, but based on general like church structure, they are supposed to be like branch pastors, even though this particular branch is a very wealthy branch. Okay, you just imagine having top oil and gas CEOs, multi-billionaires in a particular branch of a church. That particular branch usually carries weight. Let us be realistic. Okay. And now this branch, based on their influence and their affluence, they built a skyscraper due to the leadership of their head pastor, who is the Iluyomades. Now, what are the Iluyomades? Now, according to what some people have been saying in the past, the whatever a branch is able to do usually doesn't come from the support of the headquarters. In fact, some people claim that, especially in RCCG circles, that this is claimed now. There's no facts to this. That some people claim, okay, that branches have to remit as much as, I think, if my math is still, if I still remember very well, as much as 70%. I'm not very sure. Correct me, please. But there are some people who have complained about this many times, that the amount excuse me, the amount of money that branches need to pay to the headquarters is much. And most times the headquarters is not really involved in the development or developmental projects of the branches. It is the branches that take money from their local branches to the headquarters. Now this can play out in different, there are different ministries with different policies and rules and regulations or whatever. In some ministries, they have some sort of sharing formula. Let me put it, I'm using this word loosely, please don't quote me. So let me just digress. Let me not talk too much about that. So around that time when this whole thing was happening, so different people started calling for the resignation of the Iluyomades. Now it was going to be very difficult because these people had raised the funds for the building of these Trinity Towers. I'm doing a live stream out that if it was normal video, I would have put the pictures and all of that for Trinity Towers, which we are not privy to what exactly the contractual agreement on that tower is. But loosely, people are saying that, oh, Herbert gave them loan to build the place. So we don't know whether those loans were taken in the capacity of the Iluyomades in their own personal capacity, or in the capacity of RCCG City of David. We are not privy to that because it is possible that the Iluyomades may have a special venture vehicle or something where RCCG City of David might just be a tenant in that tower. We are not aware of all that information. But when people were calling for their resignation, this was something that was in the news. There was a newspaper publication or a blog that came out and said that, oh, that the Iluyomades said they were not going to resign. That was sometime in February. So let me just read what they have to say here. They said Pastor Iluyomade and his wife have said they would not resign as the regional head of the Apapa family of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. According to reports, the general overseer, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, had written Pastor Iluyomade and his wife to resign as regional head of the Apapa family and hand over to his son. However, Pastor Iluyomade wrote back to Adeboye that they won't resign. The couple are threatening to pull out of Redeem and rename it the Trinity Towers building because the majority of the loan they took on it was done by an SPV. I'd not even read all of this when I was saying what I was saying. Reports have it that the SPV is owned by them. However, a lot of the donations by the congregants were made to the building under the guise its Redeemed Church project started by late Pastor Esco Unfon. The under pressure Iluyomades have threatened to expose the shenanigans of Pastor Adeboye and his children. So this is a write-up that came out sometime in February. Like I said, I didn't even know that the SPV belongs to them. Right. What an SPV is, a special purpose vehicle, if I still remember very well. So now the question I first of all asked, I want to really know, when there was like a public outrage that these people should be sacked or they should be punished or whatever, is that the norm in most denominations? Do denominations tell people to resign just because there's a public outrage, or there are special interests in something? It was quite, I to be candid, I personally have an unpopular opinion from what everybody has been saying, and it's just my opinion, right? It was a tragic situation that happened. Some people have the opinion that the birthday could have been what's the word now, could have been postponed. Some other people are like, this birthday had been planned. It was quite an unfortunate situation. The birthday had been planned. They had to go on with the birthday. So you guys, let me know what your thoughts is. Let me not say my own thoughts, but I have an unpopular opinion. Okay, that's my own opinion, right? But I'll keep it to myself for now. Let me stick with the issues of what we're discussing. So there is the issue of these Trinity Towers, which is a beautiful real estate, beautiful. Some people are saying that the Iluyomades are not the ones who started that project. There was a late pastor, Esco Unform. I don't know this pastor. Please, anybody who has information can enlighten us very well. Okay. So they now said they were not going to resign. They were not going to, and if they would resign, then they would change the Trinity Towers from RCCG City of David to their own Trinity Towers or whatever. That was sometime in February. Excuse me. If according to this thing that they are saying, if it is really true, I remember as at that time, people were arguing that in the hierarchy or in the organizational chart of RCCG, Pastor Adeboye's son is not qualified to take over. I remember I saw that argument at that time, that there are other people within the organizational chart that should take over. So I'm just wondering, where did it even come from? If this thing is true, because these are just things on the internet, we are not sure. Where did it even come from that they should hand over RCCG to Pastor Adeboye's son? Where did that thought come from? Who thought about it? Because the optics of it doesn't sound good at all. But let's move on. So after that initial issue, the whole thing, everybody thought it had died down. They continued. Herbert was buried, and but there are still some people who felt really slighted, and I'm going to read that in a moment because there was, all these church people. So was it 2 days ago? We just saw that they put on blogs breaking news on a particular Christian blog. Let me go to that blog. And they were saying that Pastor, this is the real church gist. Hello, thank you so much for joining. I'm not seeing your chats. Okay, thank you. So according to the blog that broke, or the FSO, they said breaking: Pastor Iluyomade of RCCG City of David suspended, replaced, and transferred after 17 years. RCCG Governing Council suspends City of David's parish pastor Iluyomade for 3 months, replaced by Pastor Charles Pandey of RCCG Genesis branch. Iluyomade to be moved to a new parish after RCCG 72nd convention in August 2024. Then they say Samuel Amen. I don't know who this person is. So they said the RCCG, so I'll just be saying RCCG, please, has suspended Pastor Iluyomade, the senior pastor of the City of David parish of the church. Pastor Iluyomade, who is also the head of the Apapa family, was reportedly suspended over the weekend and asked to report to the headquarters, a close source disclosed. Iluyomade was said to have been suspended for 3 months by the governing council of the RCCG. A panel has been set up to investigate some allegations against him and the parish. A top RCCG pastor said the decision to suspend Iluyomade was a response to the public outcry against the extravagant birthday party of his wife shortly after the death of the former CEO of Access Bank, Herbert Wigwe. Iluyomade has since been replaced by the pastor Charles Pandey of RCCG Resurrection Parish of Region 11 of the church. It was learned that Pandey resumed at City of David on Sunday, June 2nd, and was given a cold welcome. The sources said those in the City of David had been expecting Pastor Pandey. Some top RCCG officials had to meet with some top people in the parish and confided in them that Pastor Idowu would have to be removed from the parish. They needed to get the confidence of these top people because of the great influence of Pastor Iluyomade in the parish. The RCCG was not sure of the outcome of this move, so it had to be discreet. He may not be returned to the parish after the suspension. We have just 3 months to the convention. It may be a way of taking him away from the place permanently. He has spent many years in that parish. He needed to be moved. It was not Pastor Adeboye that suspended him. The governing council decided to suspend him. Now, we're talking about dirty politics here. Um, we are going to separate issues, okay? Because I like to separate issues. The issue of celebrating birthday party when a top member died is a separate, different issue from the politics in RCCG as an organization. Okay, so I want us to be able to differentiate both issues. We are not talking about the birthday party, whether or not they should have celebrated birthday party. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the politics that is going on. Now, the first question I personally have is that because they are saying he has been in that branch for more than 17 years. Why was he in that branch for more than 17 years? On what basis? Because the way this whoever is leaking this information to the public, the way it's making it to be is like, oh, they had to be discreet about removing him. How come doesn't RCCG have their standard operating procedure for pastors in whatever locations that they belong to? There are some organizations that, okay, you have to be moved from 2 years. So what is it that they built a temple in RCCG City of David that they could not remove them for the past 17 years? Because if it was a pastor in one village in Ogbomosho, they would have been moving him one year rotation. So how were they, why were they not able to remove him in the past 70 years when they had not built these Trinity towers? This governing council, with all due respect, how come the governing council did not realize that this particular pastor had been in this particular place for 17 years? Why is it so convenient that after the towers have been built, right, and there's just a public outcry, then perfect timing for us to take him out? Let us look at this thing critically. Like I said, the issue of birthday party is a different issue. This issue of suspension and whatever politics in RCC, another issue entirely. Because nobody can tell us that it's just this 60th birthday that Pastor Siju started celebrating extravagant birthdays. Pastor Siju has been Pastor Siju for many years. So, well, what just changed? I like to be educated though. What changed? And from this church gists, because it's from church gists, before some people come and be measuring up all over my video. Church gist said the sources. Now, another question I have is Pastor Siju the first pastor to be transferred in the RCCG organization? How did he get to the media? Why are churches now doing things to please public outcry? Because if we want to talk about public outcry, there have been many outcries. Yes, as many. There was a time there was public outcry that Baba bought jets. Did we suspend Baba for buying jets because of public outcry? So what is this talk of the transfer and suspension is as a result of the public outcry? Is it today that there has been public outcry? There have been public outcry that the school fees in the university is too expensive for people in the church. Did we shut down the university because there was public outcry because of that? So what are we talking about? What is the meaning of it is a response? It sounds nauseating. To be honest, I'm not holding brief for anybody, but it sounds nauseating. You give us another reason. And another thing is, why is it in the public? Why was somebody transferred? Because there are many pastors that have been transferred in RCCG. Abi, you should help me look at this thing critically. Why is it that Pastor ID's own immediately goes to the press and is blasted? everywhere that Pastor ID has been suspended, and the first thing we are seeing it is on blogs everywhere. Suspended, transferred. Oh my God, you people are your politics now waffle now. They said the politics inside the church is stronger than the one in APC and PDP. Then they now said that the one that even now make me like when I read the whole thing, they said they needed to get the confidence of these top people. Are they saying that there are some cabal? Are they trying to tell us that there is some sort of cabal in City of David that they have to take permission from? Because let me read it again. No, let's not be like I'm just talking. They said that they needed to get the confidence of these top people because of the great influence of Pastor Iluyomade in the parish. The RCCG was not sure of the outcome of his move, so it had to be discreet. He may not return to the parish after the suspension. It may be a way of taking him away from the place permanently. He has spent many years in that parish. He needed to be moved. Ha! Now, wow. Anyway, you people should tell me what you guys think. Let me not talk my mind. I'm just asking questions, okay? Now, question now they ask. Question. Now, while I was reading all of that, please like this live stream. They had to be discreet. They had to take permission from the top people in City of David. There are some quarters that are saying that a lot of the multi-millionaires and billionaires did not find it funny how the Iluyomades handled Herbert's death. Yes, they didn't find. I'm coming. Let me get where somebody was giving premium tea. Wahala. So, okay. According to sources, Pastor Iluyomade is dissatisfied with the transfer, citing his extensive efforts in building the Trinity Towers, a project valued at over 10 billion naira that is still owed to Access Bank. Okay. Because people are saying that, oh, Herbert was one of the major financiers. Did they dash them the money or did they borrow the money? Because now they are saying the money is borrowed. So maybe that was why I'm not holding brief for them. Maybe that was why it was like, do you understand? They borrowed the money. It was not free because the way people were saying it was like they dashed them the money. So they said, furthermore, Pastor Iluyomade, who is 65 years old, reportedly expired dissatisfaction, that he has not reached the retirement age of 70. Rumors suggested that his wife, CG Iluyomade, was celebrating her 60th birthday shortly after the death of former Access Bank managing director Herbert Wigwe, which may have influenced the decision. Wigwe played a prominent role in raising the funds for the City of David's new complex, the Trinity Towers. So let us get to the main crux of the day. I'm just going to be reading what people are saying. So somebody says that since his death, money has not been flowing like before. His friends who frowned at their reaction to his death took it personally and stopped worshiping there. In fact, Wigwe's death has left a vacuum in that church, and of course the headquarters will fill it. The elites too will definitely express their feelings to Baba Adeboye. Ebute Metta is still good. Una for send them go Badagry or Ayetoro. Imagine losing such a member. Let me not talk. I said that there are some quarters that are saying that because Herbert was such a financial backbone in that church, the way they treated them after he died, or after his death, was not good, because his death, to be honest, was very painful. They didn't even get his bodies. May so rest in peace. And his wife and his son. It was a very terrible death. Okay. So another person said that politics everywhere, even in the church. Does being a pastor's wife equate giving up her beauty standards, abi makeup be the problem sef? The church goes on even if a pastor on her life. So why are they making the issues about the living celebrating? Must a pastor remain in a particular parish for life? So this person now goes on to say that only an insensitive person will say what they did was okay. Don't forget, Herbert was the highest donor to building the Trinity Tower. He gave interest-free 1 billion naira to the church a few weeks to his death. Okay? He placed the choir on a fat salary. He was close friends to the Iluyomades. He was like a brother to them. If your brother dies in a helicopter crash with his wife and first son, so badly burnt that they could not recover their bodies, wouldn't you be in shock? Will you think of throwing such a lavish party when your friend and brother hasn't even been buried? It is not about the living celebrating, it is about the circumstances surrounding it. Unfortunately, the people surrounding them are like you, not telling them the truth that they have heard. Another person now responded and said that how many members of RCCG on our life weekly? How many do they observe a minute of silence for? They should cancel months of plans because the church benefactor had an accident that could have happened to any other member and they wouldn't bat an eye. Remove emotions and money, money, money. Life goes on. If you like, live a life of service to your last breath. The living will continue living. Your closest friends and family will have sex, eat, and still do what they need to do. This is only a big deal because of money. Somebody now responded and said that blah blah blah, they also didn't lose a child. Why do you think one member life is more important than the other? Is it the first member deleting? What about the members that die on their way from camp? So these are many of the issues people are raising. That okay, yes, Herbert was a big benefactor to the church. Right, we agree. That's what some people are saying. Now, some other people are saying that there are people who are on our life every day. There are people who go to redemption camp, on their way to redemption camp. They have accidents and they lose their lives. Do they sack pastors because of that? Or is it because money is not flowing from a certain quarters? That is why this is an issue. That's what people are saying. Let me continue reading for you guys. Somebody said that they will soon open their own church. She doesn't want to identify with poor people. Now poor people full ebute meta. Watch out and see. They will start their own church in that VI. Another person said it wouldn't be the same city of David of the past, because a lot of the rich people who would have followed them to their new church are appalled by the way Herbert was treated. Nobody wants to feel like you only love them because of money. And if they die, you will act like you are no longer important. The church will be a flop. At least Tony Rapu left RCCG with his integrity intact. The Iluyomades have destroyed that theirs by their singular act of throwing an insensitive party after Herbert's death. Wahala. Wahala, wahala. So, you guys, Me, I just want to know, is the transfer because of the party, or is it against RCCG's um structure or laws that pastors cannot hold parties? Why is one member and his family dying more important than other members that have died? I don't know. It's just a question. Okay, that's what some people are saying. That's the argument. And based on what we, the gossip mill and everything, if the Iluyomades are to leave City of David or redeem as a church, like they said, the SPV of the Trinity Towers belongs to them majorly. So that means that whatever billion debts or interest free that they claim, that they said Herbert gave to them, they have the liability of upsetting that, because these are some of the internal issues. That's why they will have mind and say we are not going to resign. Because was RCCG as an organization going to clear off the debts that had accrued based on the Trinity Towers? Or was it going to be the Iluyomades liability? Because if the people that want to come and take over that place, will they take over the payment of that debt? Or is it the Iluyomades that will continue paying? You understand? So these and many more are the issues on the politics in RCCG. Um, Somebody said transfer is a constant thing in RCCG. If you like, use your throat to build your parish. You will be moved when the time comes. They said, lol, the Iluyomades have been City of David pastors since I have known them. That is why most people think it's a franchise, because the birthday act broke the camel back. Somehow they escaped transfers. Or the, you know, the same thing I was asking, that how did they escape transfers all these years if there is no mago inside that system? Then all this talk about the rich people are very angry. I for one think that they could have handled the party situation in a much more matured way. But it's painful because some people are saying they, I bet was very close to them. So one has to actually be very objective. So if they were very close as they claim, why did they behave like that? Would they have held on? Let me just flip this question now. If it was the other way around, would the dead people do the same thing if it was the other way around? I don't know. We can't speak for the dead. We honestly can't speak for the dead. But the organization that the dead man was heading, they moved on to after he passed. It's just the cruelty of life. And that's why we all have to always ponder. Because once you leave this plane, the truth of the matter is that life moves on. People will move on. The people that you think will carry your matter on your head, it's a lie. Oh, they won't carry it. Oh. So that's why the Bible says, teach us to number our days. Because just look at somebody who was very close to their family died and they threw a big party. They said they've already planned, they've already booked ahead. They couldn't stop the party. The death of one person cannot stop the celebration of people who are living. It's a cruel world, it's a cold world that we live in, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, um, somebody said that since his death, money has not been flowing in. So the elites, the big people in City of David, they've been withdrawing their money. So are they trying to tell us that this move is to appease the rich people so that money can come back into the system of RCCG? I don't know. That's what people are saying. That's what some people are just saying. Then some people are blaming his wife. You know, of course, is the wife that is controlling the man according to him. Okay, let me just read this last comments before I round up. Somebody said that one thing I know about RCCG, they don't tolerate certain actions, especially from pastors. Really? Okay. While the mandate allows a pastor to develop their parish, it doesn't mean they own it. Sometimes there's even a mass transfer of all pastors. No matter how much you have done for the church, you can be transferred to other parishes. It is presumed that whatever you have done is your contribution to God. I can I can understand why pastors may feel dissatisfied. Imagine pastoring a parish for 10 years and then being moved to another parish to start all over again. Well, that's going to be this Trinity Towers thing is going to be a highly contentious matter. And for now, we don't have much details, but we are going to be sitting down in the sidelines to see how the story develops. Okay. Because, like I asked before, who has been responsible for upsetting the loan that was used to build that Trinity Towers? Is it RCCG as an organization, or is it the Iluyomades? And if the Iluyomades are suspended, who will continue offsetting that money? These are part of the internal dirty politics that is going on in this matter as it is developing. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much. I would love to hear your responses and your comments in the comment section. I will see you all in the next one and keep you all updated as more things unfold. Bye.